Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to my channel. My name is Micah and today's video is going to be a declutter video. I filmed an entire declutter series of 10 different parts and today we are doing one of those parts. I will be using this intro for every single one of these videos, so if you're thinking, hey, I think I've seen this video before, then stay tuned because it might very well be one of the declutters that I filmed. I just thought it would be easy to have one intro for every single one of these videos because the lowdown on these kind of videos and the disclaimer I have for this is pretty much the same for every single one of these. I went through my entire makeup collection. As I said, there are going to be 10 different parts and I just went through everything because it really needed to clear out. As I'm talking, I will make sure to put in some before pictures because it was a right old mess. There were products everywhere on top of things, and the drawers where I keep my makeup, which you can see behind me, were just like stuck to the brim. They were very heavy and I just knew it was time to declutter. Now, I don't get sent a whole lot of PR. Most of the makeup I own is stuff I pay with my own money. And that's why when it comes to declutters, I'm not too savage. I know I need to get rid of stuff because some things are just old or broken or it didn't work for me or whatever the case might be why I'm getting rid of something. I did spend my own money on it, so it's not something that I feel like I'm not aiming to get rid of like 50% of all of my makeup or 70% or almost everything. I like having a good variety of drugstore and high-end stuff, and it's just that I try a lot of makeup for my blog and for my YouTube channel, and sometimes it just gets to that point where you're like, am I still using this? No, I'm not. And when you get to that point, it's just time to get rid of stuff. I will not be selling any of the makeup that I'm getting rid of because 9 out of 10 times I've had it free for quite some time and I would not feel good selling it to anyone or passing it on to anyone I don't know personally. So by the time I'm filming this intro, I have already passed on some of the stuff that you will be seeing decluttered in these videos. So even if you leave a comment saying, hey, can I have that? It may very well be that I no longer even have that product. Hey everyone, welcome to my blush declutter, and this is my first round of blushes. I have some more drugstore coming up in the next round, but I just laid out these all of these just now just to see if we could declutter some high-end as well as like some overflow that I had, some shimmery blushes, all that jazz. That's what I laid out before you right now. Some of these are newer, some of these are older. Let's just see what we can get rid of here. There are definitely a few here that I know I want to keep. Case in point, let's just start right here at the top. These two Too Faced blushes. I have heard these have been discontinued. These are the Love Flush blushes, and this is in the shade How Deep Is Your Love? And this is in the shade Baby Love, and these are very pretty, so I'm going to keep those. Tarte blushes I also really love, but I am going to get rid of this baby one. This was in the Tarte birthday set from Sephora, and I just haven't used this at all, maybe once or twice. It's very similar to the shade I already owned. This is in Seduce, and I prefer this because it's a little bit more brown, a little bit darker, and this is a bit too pale for me, so don't like that. And I also have this like peachy corally blush. This is in the shade that no one can pronounce. Akiote, I'm not sure if you can see that right there, but that is that shade right there, and I really like that in the summertime, so keeping that. You'll see that a lot, by the way, in my blush collection, that I have like a bright and a neutral shade from a certain brand, because that's then just what I really like. So we can also get rid of, what can we get rid of? Let me see. This Marcel blush, I got this in a swap that I did with someone from Canada. Very, very lovely that she sent me this. But as you can see when I open it, where's the blush? It is hidden in this little tray here. And I can never get this down. Like the packaging, it's a very nice blush. I once like had to stick like a pin in it and then it's fine. But the packaging is broken. Such a shame because it's a nice blush. Let's just go over something in that swap that I did really like and that I get on very well. This is Joe Fresh. Can I get this? Like packaging, people, come on. This is really nice. This is a very nice shade, very pretty. It's matte, which is my favorite, so I'll keep that. Hourglass blushes are some of my favorite. Never mind the fingerprints that you see here. I have Mood Exposure, which is a very nice neutral shade. And I have diffused heat, which is also really nice. I'm trying to show you this in the best way. There we go. So those two I'm going to keep. Decay. I was shocked to realize that last summer I went to the counter and was like, oh, I've never tried an Decay blush, but it's a brand that I love. So I bought this very fun purple shade. Hello. I found out last year that purple blush actually looks nice on me in the winter time. So I definitely need to bust that out. The shade I'm wearing a lot right now is Video, which is a really nice like brownie neutral. So this is a formula I love. I love this packaging as well. So I am looking to buy more of these, but I've heard that they're going to be reformulating. So fingers crossed that that's okay. Something that I know, let me see. We have NARS here. This is Orgasm, and I've decided that I'm going to get rid of my Orgasm blush. I have similar shades in my collection that are newer or that I like better. This is just, I use this a lot. As you can see, a lot of NARS blushes do that it gets a little bit grainy after a while. But I've used this so much, it's so old, it's gross, it needs to go. I am keeping Sex Appeal. This is a very nice like pale peachy shade. Again, stunning in the winter time on me. Now most of the blushes I own are powder blushes. I only have a couple in like another format. This is some blush papers by Essence, which I hated, so I'm going to get rid of that. And I do like my two cream blushes. I have one by Chanel. The packaging is sadly broken on this. The hinge is broken, but it's a really nice, like bright pinky red shade, so I'll keep that. And I have this one by Catrice. This is a really nice neutral shade. I quite liked it, so keeping those because I don't have any other cream blush. Let me see. This sleek blush is Pomegranate, and I kept this around, but it's just too dark for me. This shade, even with a light hand, it just looks a little bit clownish. Not gonna keep it. Something I love are the Balm blushes. Like, I have 5 of them by now, and I'm slowly becoming the Balm blush collector. Hot Mama is a classic, and this is the reason why I'm getting rid of that the NARS Orgasm blush, because this is that same shade, but this works a lot better. It's a little bit lighter, I feel, so it works better on my complexion. Balm Beach and Balm Springs are very, very nice. I really like these. Balm Springs is a bit more pink, and Balm Beach is a bit more neutral. So again, here I go with my more neutral and a bright. You know, that's sort of my jam when it comes to trying blush formulas. Because sometimes brands can do one thing very well, but they're not very good at the other. In the In-Stain line, I have Lace, which is this really nice bright pink. I don't have anything else like this in my collection, so that's why I'm keeping it. And then this is in the shade Houndstooth. Very nice neutral. I think, what's it called? Pinstripe, or there's another one that's quite light. I think I want to get that too in this In-Stain blush line, because these are very lovely. In like texture-wise, I think that these Visanti ones are very similar to those the Balm ones. I have 2. I have Andes and I have Cyan, yes. And sadly, this one is a little bit too dark for me. It's too brown. This Andes shade, and Cyan is a really nice like wine color on me. It's a bit darker on my face than I feel that it is in the pan, so it's a bit deceiving. Elephant in the room, this macro here in the middle. To be quite honest, I have 6 MAC blushes, and I don't wear them a lot. MAC does not make my favorite blush formula. So I think we can get rid of some here. At Dusk has to stay, as you can see. This is an extra dimension blush, so it comes with a little like wavy pattern and all that, but the pattern has worn down, so that means I've worn this a lot. I'm also going to be keeping this. This was limited edition. This is Azalea Blossom. This is an ombre blush, and this is like a lavender and a pink, again, in the winter time. Great shade. This is how I found out I like purple blush, so case in point. Then we have these other singles, and I think they're all pretty similar, actually. Yeah, I've got Warm Soul. what's this called again? What's this called? Margin. And I've got a limited edition collection one. This is Fresh Honey. This is too orange on me, and I decluttered it in my last declutter and then pulled it out after I was done decluttering. But I haven't used it since. It's just been swatched and I haven't used it. So I know I need to get rid of that. Sadly. I'm going to keep, like, between these two, let's do a swatch here. I think that these are actually very similar. Of all the peach blushes that I own, I don't wear a lot of peach, but Luminoso by Milani. You'll see it in a minute, but that's a definite keep. But I'll keep Warm Soul, and I'll back to MAC Margin. And then we're left with this. This is a mineralized skin finish in the shade Lust, and I believe this was from their Taboo collection. I don't like shimmering blush all that much, but this is very stunning. Some of these you could use as a highlight, but this is definitely more of like a blush on me, and I really like this, so I do want to keep that. This City Color Matte Blush, I know a lot of people like these, but I just got this in a shade just pink. It's more blue toned and brighter even than the Balm one that I just showed you. So I'll just get rid of this. This was a free gift with purchase, and I just haven't put this on my face at all. So need to get rid of that. Let's condense this down. Is there anything else here that I want to keep? Most definitely. Too Faced. This is the, what's this called again? Sweethearts Blush in Peach Beach. I bought this off of the recommendation of Emily Noel. Great blush. I'm not a big fan of shimmery blushes, but this is definitely one that I gladly make an exception for. And in that same vein, I have this Summer of Love bronzer by I Heart Makeup, but this is a blush on me. Look at that. That's very pink, and it's got gold shimmer running through it. I love this in the summertime. Love it in the summertime. The Bleeding Heart Baked Highlighter by I Heart Revolution. How is this a highlight? Like, maybe if you're very dark, I have to say. Like, I'm pasty. But this is also, again, quite nice as a bit of a blush on me. So I want to keep that. I wish it was a bit more red tone, though. Then it would have been a little bit more unique, but like that. Flormar, we're just going through shimmery stuff here now. I'm going to keep this. This is their terracotta powder in the shade Marble Pink Gold. Again, this is supposed to be a bronzer, but on me, this is like a really nice peachy shimmery blush. Going to get rid of the Essence Metal Chrome Blush. This is such a unique shade. It's like a taupe mauve shade, and it looked really nice on my cheeks, but because it's a shimmer blush, I don't wear this, so I'm going to get rid of that. Becca. These are the champagne splits that Jaclyn Hill did together with Becca, and not everybody liked these because they felt that their brush just didn't fit into it very well. Am I blending you with the mirror this way? No, I'm not. So I can put them on the floor like this. This is Pamplemousse and Prosecco Pop. This is Champagne Pop and Flower Child. I bought these because I really wanted to try these highlighters, but knew that of these kind of shades, I would never use up a highlighter in my life. I never have used up a highlighter in my life. So I thought that this would condense it just a little bit. And for the price point of a single highlight, you now get two products in one. And I also wanted to try their blush formula. I really like these. I just don't reach for them enough because they are two products in one. So I'm sort of going like, should I put this with my blushes or should I use this with put this with my highlighters? And I think I should actually put this with my highlighters because that's what I reach for the most in these. Even though those two blush shades are very stunning. Keeping Illamasqua Naked Rose, standard shade, just needed. A very good alternative to that, that's a lot cheaper, is this Essence one. This is the Matte Touch Blush in the shade Blossom Me Up. These kind of shades I love, and to have a good Essence blush is a must-have for me. So keeping that. Coralista by Benefit, I really, really like as well. This is the only blush with a clear dent in it, even though because of the packaging you can't see that, but I'm keeping that. What I'm umming and ahhing about is Bella Bamba. Again, it's that like NARS Orgasm. Maybe it's more like Deep Throat, actually. It's a bit more pink. I do really like this, but I haven't used it in a while, but you can't get this anymore. So I'm a bit torn because I do really like the shade. I should just remember to use it, but maybe now that I'm decluttering, I may actually be able to use this a bit more.
let's just keep it for now. ColourPop, this is brand new to me. I just placed an order with ColourPop not too long ago. This is in the shade Parakeet. It's like a corally, orangey, pinky shade. It's sort of like very non-descriptive, but it's a very, very pretty shade. So can't wait to try that. Physicians Formula Butter Blushes. I love the Butter bronzer. Wanted to try some of the blushes. And I got 2 shades in my swap, and I like both of them. I wanted to get Plum Rose, really like that. And this is Vintage Rouge, I think. Vintage Rouge, and like that too. So keeping those 2. And then we're left with 3 things that... I think all 3 of them I'm going to declutter. This is the Vivid Baked Highlighter by Makeup Revolution in the shade Rose Gold Lights. This is again one of those highlighters that's too dark for me, but that I can still use as a shimmery blush. But I feel I have enough shimmery blushes for now. This does something very similar to the MAC one that I have, so get rid of that. And then this is the Glitter in the Air Strobing Blush and Highlighting Powder by Essence. This is a nice blush topper, but I prefer highlighters over blush toppers, so this has got to go. And then we have the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick in, what's this called? Pink Quartz. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. But I don't use this because it's got too much shimmer. I think I've had this for more than 2 years and I've used it 3 times. Needs to go. These are the rest of my blushes. These are mostly Drugstore. Well, yeah, I think they're all Drugstore. And again, we can declutter some here for sure. Catrice on the bottom, as you can see, I keep buying these the minute they release new ones to try, but ultimately I like them. I just don't love all of these shades that I have. The newest one is this. This is the blush box in the shade Soft Rose. I like this. It's just that I have a million other blushes like this that perform just as good or better than this, so while I like this, this has to go because I just need to narrow it down because I don't reach for that. Light and Shadow Contouring Blush in a Flamengo in Santo Domingo. I think these have already been discontinued. It is a nice peach shade, but I have other peach shades that I like better. Getting rid of. The Multicolor Blush in Strawberry Frappuccino. This has survived so many declutters. This has to go into my sentimental makeup pile. I remember buying this years ago, and this was one of my favorite blush shades. It does something very similar to the NARS Sex Appeal shade that I decided to keep, which is why I feel I need to get rid of this. But like I said, sentimental makeup. Strobing Blush in the shade Mrs. Rosalie Berry. This is very pretty, but this blush range replaced the illuminating blushes, and I've got 2 of those, and especially this rosy shade. This is Coral Me Baby, and this is La Vie en Rose, and I've used these just a lot more. This is a corally peach shade that I can really get down with. These are a little bit like satin finish, so they're not fully matte. This, I just don't get a whole lot of use out of. It's a pretty shade. Again, I have nothing against this blush. Nice formula, nice texture, nice shade, but it's just something I don't reach for, so this needs to go. And I'll keep these 2 because this is a shade I don't have a whole lot of, and this is just a really nice neutral. So then we move on to e.l.f. right here. This is in the shade Rich Rose. The sticker has fallen off. It's one of their baked blushes, and I really like this. I definitely wore this a couple of summers, but I think this is very similar to that I Heart Makeup bronzer that I showed you, and I like that one a little bit better than this, because with this I feel I still have to use bronzer and highlighter and all that, and with the Makeup Revolution one I don't. So I'll get rid of the e.l.f. one. I'm also getting rid of this Rimmel one. This is in the shade Pink Rose. I really wanted to try a Rimmel blush some time ago, and I bought this, and it's nice. It's a good blush, but again, don't reach for it, so needs to go. When I wanted to try purple blush, I decided to get this. This is the LA Girl Just Blushing in Just Dance. I saw this in the store and was like, oh, I need to try that. And then I found out that purple blushes look nice, and I like having, like, especially when I'm trying out new colors, I like trying high-end and drugstore formulas. So that is why this one I'm going to keep for now. Maybe I'll like the Urban Decay one better, but I haven't tried that enough to decide that yet. Milani, these rose blushes are going to keep because, I'm going to keep these. This is Tea Rose and this is Coral Cove, a neutral and a bright. If I like a shade range from a blush, if I like a blush formula, I always have 2 of them. Milani Luminoso, I already said I'm going to keep. In terms of peachy blushes, there isn't a lot that I like on myself, even though makeup artists always keep putting it on me because they say it looks good on me. I'm not wholly convinced. But this one is the only one I feel I can truly get away with, so I'm going to keep that. H&M. This is a new one that I just got, actually. I'm not sure if I'm blinding them up. No. Oh, that one has a mirror. They now come with a mirror. Oh, that's great. Updated packaging. So these are H&M blushes, and this is Vintage Rouge or Vintage Red, Cantaloupe, and Tawny Peach. Tawny Peach is one of my all-time favorite blushes. And I can no longer find this shade, so I would be very sad to see that go, but love it. Love it. And because I love those 2 so much, I just recently bought this reddish shade because that's my new goal for 2019. I want to try more red tone blushes. So keeping all 3. This Kiko blush right here is from a limited edition collection called Rock Attraction in the shade Pop Apricot. I actually decluttered this in my last declutter and pulled it afterwards because I was sad to see it go, but I haven't used it since then, so it definitely needs to go. I was right to declutter it the first time, so need to just let go of it. Wet n Wild, this is the Color Icon blush in Rosé Champagne. Very nice neutral blush, actually. I do really enjoy that. And then Wet n Wild's Ombre blush in a Purple Haze. This is a dupe. Let me show you. This is a dupe for Max Azalea Blossom. And again, this is nice. This is a bit more shiny. This is matte, this is satin, so they are different, but the shade is a dupe. So if you're looking for a dupe of something like this, then this is really nice. Max Factor, this is in Alluring Rose. These are the Cream Puff blushes, Alluring Rose, and this is in the shade Seductive Pink. And of these 2, I'm going to keep Alluring Rose. I'm going to get rid of Seductive Pink. I feel that this is very similar to that e.l.f. one. At least it does something similar once it's on my face. So keeping one, getting rid of the other one. I bought 2 to try, but there's one shade I just prefer over the other. So keeping that. Condensing this down. Kiko, I've mentioned this multiple times as being one of my all-time favorite blushes. This is the shade Fusion Blush in 05 Marsala. Love this. Keep. And then we are also... Am I keeping this? Ooh, I'm not sure yet. Oh, these are tough. This NYX Ombre blush, I haven't used a ton, actually. This is in the shade Mauve Me. And I really like this. I do really like the look of this, so I just need to start using it, but it was just a little bit lost in my collection. So need to start using that. This So Eva blush, yes, So Eva also does blushes, is in the shade He Loves Me Maybe, I think. Yeah, He Loves Me Maybe. They still sell this. I was very surprised. It's a very nice, bright, punchy coral shade, but again, I haven't reached for this since my previous declutter, so I need to get rid of this. Sad to see that one go, but if it's something I don't reach for. And then it's between these 2, I think. I'm not necessarily sure I want to keep both. This is by Rivalda Loop, which is a German drugstore brand, and this is Physicians Formula. And both of these blushes do something very similar. This is a very nice, glowy, natural, flush look. And this is a very nice, like, bright poppy shade as well. I prefer this one. I've used it a lot more too. And this is a little bit old, and I now have those butter blushes, so I think I'm good with, like, Physicians Formula stuff. So I'll get rid of that. Ugh, that hurts a bit. And I'll keep the German one. That's 20 blushes that I'm getting rid of, which I think is a pretty good number. I still have plenty to go with, but I try to not overbuy blush. Like, I don't want to, like, buy the entire collection of a single, like, line because I just don't see the point. I know what I like, and these were things that just didn't work for me for whatever reason. So that is why, that is my blush declutter. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. There are more declutters coming your way, so if you'd like to see more, stay tuned, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!